Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, go for it. One minute. I'm waiting for you to go through. I'll be reading.
Damn, Jacob, this shit.
Yeah, I can't read it. I'm going to bring you in a minute. I can see you.
Welcome back to another International Sister Sunday discussion. I hope everyone's had a great week. I know that here in the UK anyway, the weather has been so bad. So I don't know how it's been where you are. What do you think, ladies? Like the summers, there's no sun.
The sun. Where's it gone?
Gone.
I mean, we had a good run.
We
but
did.
The earth still needs to be watered.
Yes, and that's why I'm thankful. I'm like, it's cool, it's okay. The rain is needed. We need balance, so it's okay. But it's messing up my life.
Hopefully it turns round.
I hope so. Thank you again for joining us today. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the Black Eyes TV7 channel so you can get all your notifications of everything that they have coming up on the platform. Don't forget
donate as well.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Donate so that this work can be continued. Especially with everything that's going on, like we need to be pushing platforms like this and continuing to be able to have the facilities in order to be able to do this work. So donate. There will be a link. You'll see it running down the screen, or it will be put into the comments. If you want to know more about what we do as an organization, check out our Instagram page, which is International Sister Circle, or you can go to our website, which is internationalsistercircle.com, or send us an email, which is info@internationalsistercircle.com. Now, introduce the ladies that we've got with us today. My name is Jaisha. I'm one of the facilitators of ISC.
Hi, I'm Gemma, and I'm the Total Exposure Visionary. Also, I'm one of the event organizers of ISC.
Hi, and I'm Nakima. I'm part of the awesome International Sister Circle, and by trade, I work in mental health.
Love that. And we have got a special guest on with us today. We've got a queen and elder all the way from New York, USA. Her name's KHALEA Washington. She's just setting up now, so she should be on with us, in a couple of minutes. But I had a chat with KHALEA in the week, and her energy is just so calming. Do you know when you speak to someone and their voice is just very calming, very subtle, and they just really have that positive energy about them? That's how KHALEA was. And we had a great conversation about what she does and her journey so far. So KHALEA Washington is actually a solar biologist. Now, I was just like, what's that? what is that? I've never heard of that. So I don't know. In the comments, guys, comment if you've ever heard of what a solar biologist does, but I had never heard of it. And she was basically, it's just a fancy title for an astrologist. I was like, oh, okay. I was telling her about the astrologist that we've had on not so long ago. And what I loved about how she explains and what she does is more deeper than just an astrologist. Now, I'm sure when she comes on, she'll be able to explain, and go deeper into it. But the bit that I love that really struck with me was, when you have an astrologist on, they can tell you a lot about the character you are and what type of person you're. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's really good. But she goes even deeper. Okay, that's the type of character you are. These are the cycles that you might have in your life. This is how to tackle those cycles, how to help change that mindset, how to change behavior that might be blocking you in your life. And I was like, I like that. Okay, I know what my character's like. Now, what can I do to elevate, and move higher and get to a higher vibration? So that's what I love most about what she does. She's also a designer, so she has a collection called khaleaskollection, and she's a designer, so she has an Instagram page, so check her out over there. And she's also on Facebook as well, for any of those who are interested in getting to know more about what she does, and also checking out her clothing line. So I love that.
I'm interested.
Definitely interested. Exactly. And I feel like, especially what's going on now, we need, that guidance. I feel that guidance is important in terms of how to help us move through what's going on, how to help us, again, elevate, how to help us build what we can do. I'm all for education in terms of I'm always learning. I'm always wanting to take in more. How do you guys feel about that?
I love what you said. I've loved everything that you said, actually, as well, with what she does, and also with you wanting to learn and take on. And I'm with you on that as well.
Yeah.
And intergenerational wealth was what came into my mind when you was talking about as well, and background as well.
Yeah.
Keeping us supporting of each other, and then the cause is to keep it strong so we can become financially fierce, if you like. I don't know, like a powerhouse.
Definitely.
So I love that, and I love the fact that she goes a little bit further, not just kind of numerology characteristics.
Yeah.
Take the tap.
I feel like all of it on their place, all of everything. Still setting up. I feel like everything has its place. One of the things that I'm really working on this year is self-awareness, and I really feel like this subject and what KHALEA has to talk to us about is going to be groundbreaking for all those who are watching and viewing with us right here on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. If you're in that position where you're wanting to elevate on self-awareness, yeah, KHALEA is probably going to be the woman to help you on that. What was you going to say, Gemma?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you again to those that are in the comments. Thank you for joining us. If this is the first time that you've ever caught us here and you've just stumbled across us, welcome to International Sister Circle. Welcome to Black Eyes TV 7. And if this is the first time you've seen us, you definitely got a treat today with KHALEA Washington. Yeah. She's still setting up. KHALEA, can you hear us okay? We'll give her a couple more minutes. Guys, if there's anyone in the comments who has ever come across, again, like a solar biologist, or if you've ever been to, if you had any readings done, or you ever anything to do with astrology, let us know. We'd love to talk about it. We'd love to hear from you and your views on it, and if it's changed your life in any way as well. Yeah, let's hear about
Do
it.
you know what your life path number is? Just share.
So I looked it up when we had
Lloyd.
no
Kaya French.
yes, Kay French. Kay French was great, guys. For those who, if you didn't catch that video, go back to the Black Eyes TV videos and you'll be able to catch it there. Would you say it was about 4 weeks ago?
About that.
Yeah, it's about that.
4 or 5.
Yeah. So I think I was in number 3 when I checked it out. Yeah.
Nice, like me.
Yeah. So I did look into it a bit more and have conversations with other people who had looked up as well. Because when she came on, I was so fascinated. Like I was like, oh yeah, exactly what she said. That is exactly how I am, and I like the fact that once you know like your number and so forth, or even someone else's, you know how to be able to navigate through life better, have better relationships with people, because then you understand them better. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about people on the whole, and why I'm an observer, can't get it out, and why I'm a listener, because I just like to know why people think the way they think. I think we were having a conversation about it last week, and Akima, like, what triggers people? Why do they do these things? Why do they think like that? I just don't think I had the patience to go into psychology or anything like that. So.
Okay, but, Jem, you know what yours is? Thanks for that. Nice. I like it.
What about yourself?
Mine would be 3 as well.
Oh yes, you did say, yeah.
Mine's life path 3. Yeah.
Was there anything that you found out new, like once you did know your number, was there anything that you maybe hadn't experienced before and you thought, actually, that sounds about right, when you did find out your number?
Yeah, I read on Kaya French's website that some of the characteristics I could see now that it was pointed out, but I didn't necessarily think about, I would associate with myself. And the other ones was that I can be charming.
She's like, no chance.
Well, it's been said, but I don't see it. But it's been said in the past. But it's not. It just kind of affirms it, and yeah. I don't know whether I would have thought in the past that people just been nice, but actually, it must be the case. It must be the case, you know. And that's an endearing thing to have.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an endearing thing to have. So, yeah.
What about you? I have a way with my words.
Nice. Nice.
Quite excited about knowing that I'm persuasive. A good influence on people who need help.
Say that again.
A good influence on people who need help.
Yeah, I would agree with that with being your friend. Yeah, I think that's true. I think, like you said, it affirmed a lot. And one of the things that I found interesting was, you mentioned it when Kaya French was on. Is it the life path number?
Could be. Yeah. The life path or gift.
Yeah, I think it was the life path. And when I looked into that, and I saw what my life path number was, it was able to help me kind of focus in more on what my purpose is. You know, sometimes like being very like transparent, open, like sometimes I'm not sure if I'm fulfilling my life purpose, and just having that like reassurance or that affirm thing to say, actually, yeah, you're on the right track. And definitely being a part of International Sister Circle and being one of the facilitators, I definitely 100% feel that doing this is definitely moving me into my purpose and is definitely a part of my purpose. And everything in divine time, because
That's beautiful.
I came into this at the right time, for sure. Yeah. Everything
No,
for a reason.
overwhelmed. I was reflecting on it this week, actually. I'm quite overwhelmed and honoured to be part of a circle and other things that I'm part of as well. And I just want to do it due diligence. Is that the word? Due diligence. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It wasn't, all of this isn't on accident.
It's not.
Not an accident.
Yeah.
Even the viewers watching, it's not an accident.
It's not.
Because since that live, that stream that we had, and others, I've been doing a bit of reading about deities. And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind, and the metaphysics of it. But yeah, nothing's on purpose. Nothing's on accident.
Yeah.
It's all on purpose. It's all on purpose. Yeah. And there's things that are meant. Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. I recently was reading a book that Mr. Riggs, you guys can see him on screen. Well, you can see his name on screen, but
I know, right?
He sent me a book that I've been reading, and that one thing was one of the things that stuck with me, that everything is for a reason. And even like when I really, really sat down and thought about it and I thought deeper into it, even those little things. So now I'm starting to be very, very intentional about the conversation I have, about the people that I have around me, because even that small decision you make is going to be a part of a big decision that changes the trajectory of your life. And when I really sat down and I thought about it, I said, that's serious. Like, that's some serious thing. Like, even having this conversation right now is going to be a part of something that is going to change my life. And I'm like, okay, once I know that, I'm like, cool. Gemma could tell you, I'll go on the phone, I'll be like, look, if this is not elevating me anyway, I am not staying on the phone with you for too long.
Love that. But it's true. That's very purposeful and intentional. I love that.
Yeah. So
I find that everyone I've been attracting around me has all got a positive role in my life. And anyone with negative thoughts or like don't wish goodwill on me or my family or anyone around me, they just decide to like leave my space without I'm so grateful for that.
That's great manifestation there.
That's good. Very good.
Those of you who are watching, just a reminder that if you head over to Instagram at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. EST time, head over to Instagram, Black Girls Rock. Queen Afua will be there with a few guest celebrities, and her conversations are always dope. Like, we love cute Queen Afua here. Those of you who do know or don't know, she does endorse the International Sister Circle, and she also will be here with us every single month. So if you're unable to catch her on Black Girls Rock, you'll be able to catch her very soon right here on International Sister Circle Sunday discussions. So look out for that. Look out for any information that we'll have coming up in regards to that. We'll definitely keep everyone updated. Guys, how do you guys feel about Queen Afua coming on?
Exciting. Her words are powerful.
Again, she's just another energy that I love. Like, even just watching her, you know, people that are just so calming when they speak and just soothing.
Definitely.
So, yeah,
I'm going to get one of the books. Is it The Sacred Woman?
Yeah.
got two of them. Let me show you real quick. People might know this one.
Oh, heal thyself, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't yet to get the Sacred Woman. And I've read these a few times a few years ago. I've had them a while, so I'm going to go back into them. But I am going to get the other one as well, because I know that I need it in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Life. Manifestation of those sorts of words and that message is what I need.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Guys, if you head over as well to our website and put your details into our page, very soon we will be selling all of these books, Queen of merchandise and so forth. There's going to be a whole host of stuff on the website available to purchase. So definitely put your details, subscribe, and as soon as that will be up and running, you'll be the first to hear about it. So head over to internationalsistercircle.com, put your details in, send that website to your friend, to your mom, to your auntie, to your sister, to your cousins.
Yeah.
And let's get this thing moving. Thursday, we had myself and Gemma part of Total Exposure. As Gemma said, she's the visionary, and we had a great conversation on there talking about revolutionary music. And one of the things that we decided to do, we was like, if you know any Black businesses, put them in the comments. You know, these platforms are the times where we need to be speaking up and really pushing one another and really building. So again, if you know any Black businesses, if you're a Black business yourself, if you do something within your community that you feels like is going to be of help, put your business in the comments, and also reach out to us, internationalsistercircle.com. We would love to hear from you. We're building our organization. We've got a few trips that will be coming up where volunteers are needed with Queen Afua and also Her Royal Majesty Queen Diambi, if you haven't heard about her. So we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to help move this along, because International Sister Circle is going to be a big thing. It's going to be a household name. It's going to be the organization that lifts up, that empowers, that builds women, not just for women, but for communities, for families, for children, for our kings. It's going to be a big thing. So if you know anyone that will be interested, that will be great at doing anything or being a part of it, please let us know. Thank you to the people that are in the comments. Some beautiful comments. It's a place that we look cute. We've been told we look cute. It's a place. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Queen.
Who looks cute? We look cute. We
Yeah.
look cute. Thank you.
Peace to the family. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome as well from wherever you're tuning in from. What else is new with you, ladies?
So today I'm not in my garden fixing stations.
How's it going?
Yes.
So good.
Turn it on.
I'm actually sorting out the landscape for my growing of fruits and vegetables.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Cultivate the land. Yes.
Well, it's got to be done.
It does, exactly.
My nan grows potatoes, so she distributes that out
Nice.
within the family. I want to be able to do the same thing, just not potatoes, everything else.
Definitely. Have we got KHALEA Washington with us now? Can you hear us, Queen? Still a few issues.
I need
We're still having a
It's
little bit
cutting
of
off my
It's
chin.
gonna do that. You have to wait and allow him to make you
Bring
big.
me up.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what you do, like
hello.
it's kind of the way we have it set up.
All right, so I'm backstage or I'm in the queue?
It should say right there in the left hand corner if he has it. No, on the
Guys,
computer right here.
guys, we can see
Doesn't
you.
say.
You're in the show.
There you go. See, there you go.
Hi.
Yeah.
She's frozen.
Yeah, we're still having a little bit of difficulty. Welcome,
I've
Queen from Virginia. Welcome.
Welcome, Virginia.
Bye,
Yeah, welcome, Spy 36. Welcome, Mame. Welcome, Twice Born. The beautiful Queen from the group as well, Young Cal. Welcome. Okay, we're still having a little bit of
and
technical difficulties. Do
the others
apologize.
are buffering.
This is the issue that we're having being on lockdown, right? Trying to get some Wi-Fi.
Hi.
Hello.
Tell it's time.
I didn't catch that.
No, nor do I.
Yeah, this is the issues that we're having being on lockdown. Everybody and their grandmother is using the Wi-Fi, literally.
Yeah.
Uh,
So how's your week been?
it's been good. It's been really good. It's been great for planning. I do a number of things. So I work within the Super Circle. I'm a part of the Total Exposure team as well. I have an interior design or event decor business as well. And I have 4 children. So
and you still Josh, yeah?
Sorry, hon?
And you're still yourself. You still have to be you.
Yeah, true. I am. So this week, thank you, exactly twice 36. We're having problems with Wi-Fi and we're supposed to have 5G, exactly. So this week has been, I've decided to take a break from social media a little bit. Yeah, with everything that was going on, you know, kind of when you feel like your aura feels heavy.
I felt it.
Yeah, I thought I need to take a bit of time off, even if it is a couple of days. And then after that couple of days, if I need more time, I need more time. But also for the fact that, you know, sometimes when you want to do something, you don't want to have to explain why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I just want to do it for my peace. No other ulterior motive. There's nothing behind it. I just need time away from someone messaging me on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook. Like,
yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
You don't always be readily available for someone.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to take that time to have your own thoughts coming into your head and letting it go out into the universe.
Exactly. And as well, not feeling obligated to respond to someone. You know, I feel like we're in this era now because we have social media and text message that when someone sends you a message or someone calls you, that you have to respond right now. You don't. I have my rights to choose whether I want to answer the phone to you or not. And I shouldn't have to feel like it's an issue or it's a problem for me to do that or have that, you know, that say.
It's interesting you saying that it's an attachment disorder it creates. Because when you're in the toilet for how long, 5 minutes, and then you're not going to answer it straight away, then are you? You know, so it's like we feel like we have to respond as soon as we get a message.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with work, even with projects that we're working on as well. And actually, we don't have to. We have to sometimes just have that time and be self-reflective. I like that. My friend
Yeah.
did the same thing. He lives in Brooklyn, New York, and he's taken a week off from Sunday last week to today. I think he's coming. He might come back on. We do a live each week as well, so we kind of stop that so he can have like a detox.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's done the best for him. He's a black man as well in New York, and he's hearing a whole load of stuff, and he's just getting re-traumatized every time he's going on to there. So he says, no. Let me just do a spiritual fast, or sorry, a spirit kind of social media fast. And he said he's felt so much better after it. He said he might come back and he might not. And allowing yourself not to be pressurized that I need to go back on in 3 days, or I need to go back on tomorrow, I need to go back on in an hour. Do you know what I mean? Not having that pressure, because that in itself can create a maintenance cycle that keeps it going, and there's no point.
Yeah,
There's no
definitely.
point in you having the fast. There's no point in you having the break if you've got that anxiety.
And as well for us as people, again, like if you're on the other side of it and you're trying to contact someone, or to not feel offended, because it's not personal to you if someone hasn't responded to your message 30 seconds after you sent it. Like, it's not personal.
It's perfect, actually. It's an invitation for us to look in ourselves and think, why am I getting offended if they haven't responded after an hour?
Exactly.
10 minutes. Even if it's 2 days. Do I want to know the well-being of the person, or is it about me and not getting my message? Not getting my needs met. A lot of us have to look at internally.
Definitely. And being transparent as well.
Like that.
Say it again, hon.
I said I try not to be attached to my phone like that. There's times when my phone rings, I just look at it and I'm like, you can let it ring. You can get my response in a couple of hours, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe not even.
Nice. And we message every so often, don't we, Jem? So if I didn't get a message from you, I'm nice, I'm cool, as long as you're okay. You know what I mean? That's my main concern. And even if you put up like statuses and haven't messaged me, and as long as it's not like a question I'm asking and I'm being ignored, that's different. But where it's just like a message sent and you haven't responded, like I'm cool as long as you're cool. I'm nice. You respond when you're ready. We need to look at that and how much.
Ever getting my feelings about someone not replying unless it was something serious and I was in danger.
Yeah.
So I've been in that position before where I couldn't contact anyone. I had to literally show up at someone's house.
Right.
I feel like sometimes we need to go back to that, though. The only way to get to someone is by writing a letter or showing up. I'm going to see you next Saturday, okay?
It's interesting you're saying that, because it's a friend's birthday coming up, and I'm going to send them a letter. I'm going to send them a letter and a post letter to their home address with a gift in there as well. And I just think it's going to be really nice for them.
I think they would definitely appreciate it. No, I think they would definitely appreciate that.
You don't really
speak to them very often. Say again, Jem?
You don't really get letters anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's gonna be heartfelt, and I don't speak to them often, and I have great respect and love for this person.
Yeah, I feel like they'll definitely appreciate that for sure. Yeah. So that guy, if you know anyone, don't send them a text message. Send them a letter.
Send them a letter. Send them a
Don't
handwritten letter.
Instagram. Send them a letter. Yeah. James, I'm gonna send you a letter, hon.
Oh, do it. Yes.
No, I feel like
we can be pen pals.
We can't. Yeah, that would be cool. I feel like we're losing how to articulate ourselves with this new age social media. Like, do we even know how to write letters anymore? Do we know what?
Yes, we do. Yeah. What's it called? Cursive writing, penmanship.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's do more of that. Plus, the government and society don't need to be all up in our business about whenever we send a text message. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Twice
taking over everything. WhatsApp now.
Exactly. Twice born to comment.
Platform you can't even delete. properly.
Exactly.
Created the account, it's there forever.
Exactly. I hate that. I don't like the thought of that. Twice Born in the comments says messages definitely carry energy. Agreed. Whether it's good or bad, messages carry energy. Yeah.
It's true.
I was watching a video on Instagram, and there was a guy, he's a poet, and he was talking about even money carrying energy. And you know when you know something but you don't really think about it that often. When he said it, he was like talking about the penny, obviously being made of copper, but back in the day when it was like raw, just copper without any other added materials, when you handed someone money from your hand to someone else's, that was an exchange of energy. And it made me rethink back to I think it was either I went to a seminar or I was watching a video, one of the two, I can't remember what it was on, but someone said that to me, don't think of money as a currency or as a physical thing, think of it just as an energy. That changed my mindset in terms of manifesting money, in terms of saving money, in terms of anything to do with money. When I changed my mindset from it not being a physical thing to an energy, I was like, okay. So when they say pick up a penny, have good luck all day, it's not a thing.
Something in that. There's something in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, all these, all these little gems that you just pick up from people, and you don't even realize that you're subconsciously storing things. This is why it's important to have conversations like these, and really surround yourself with positive people, like Jem said.
Yeah, definitely.
In the days that I've been off work, all I've been doing is like going back into the archives and Black British history. I love learning history.
Me too.
Love it.
So that's what I've been like thinking about, and how history just keeps repeating itself every single day. Same things, the same type of behaviors just keep coming back. And it's like we do these protests, and it's like nothing that we ever do is ever good enough. We're peaceful, or we come across aggressive in our nature. It's like it's always a finger pointing back, like, but it's you. It's like, no, it's actually the other way around.
I hear that.
I'm just thinking about how my mum had to grow up.
Yeah.
Like it's totally different for us because it's not so blatant and in your face. But for them, it was so in your face.
Yeah. I hear that.
I was asking her about like how she had to grow up and stuff like that. It's like she's open to speak about it, but if there's a pain there as well.
Yes.
In the memory.
That's true. There would be, wouldn't there? I never really thought about it much until, again, when I had the conversation with KHALEA in the week, and she was talking about the cycles that happen when, I mean, I'm going to explain it in layman's terms. I'm sure she'll be able to explain it better. But, like when the planets pass each other and you have that eclipse, and she explained the cycle. I mean, I'm doing a really bad job in explaining it, but she comes on, she'll be able to explain it better. But it made me think that, when you're going through these cycles, exactly what you said, that the same thing keeps on happening. And like what she said, well, this cycle happens. We know it's going to happen. We know it's coming up. What do we do to then prepare ourselves in changing our behavior and changing our mindset? And I think that's going back to what you said. We're going through these cycles, and what's not changing is our mindset as a people. That's not changing. And we think that it is, and we're getting there, but it's very small steps. And I think when we really realize like how much power that we have and how much we can do and how much we work together, we'll be able to really make a difference, when we really, really embed that in ourselves, in our children, in our children's children to come, then I feel like we'll really make a difference. We'll really move. And someone said the other day, I was watching it on Facebook, with understanding our foundation, like really understanding it.
I don't know if you've noticed, girls, in the last week, there's something different about the energy of what's happening. And I don't know whether it's because there's more people, there's more of a consciousness. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you were saying earlier about the small steps, I think this is a relief in the last week. I really do. And I think a lot of Black people and white people and Asian people and then everybody else have realized that actually it isn't getting better. It is the same as when it was Trayvon, when it was other individuals. There's so many names.
It's true.
There's so many British Black names of young women, young men in the UK and in the US. And you know what we tend to do as well? I don't think we mention enough about the Black people living in Germany, in France, in Italy. Italy is quite bad as well with it. It's this.
Speaking.
You call that one in it, Joe. You call that one in it, Joe. I was ready to just let me calm down because
you kick it out into existence.
Speak it, exactly.
And what helps me understand what's happening or deal with the traumatic experiences of me seeing my Black brothers and sisters being killed. This is genocide right now. What helps me understand is that we must be a phenomenal force to be reckoned with to have that amount of oppression, brutality, and genocide happening to us. Because we're already, if you look at the race, okay, so there is the human race, and I believe in that. But if you look at communities of races, like the white, Asian, Chinese one, we are literally coming to the bottom, if not the bottom. But we're still getting oppressed. What does that say? That suggests to me that we are a force to be reckoned with, and there's something that the majority of us don't know that they know about us.
They want our third eye to stay asleep.
Oh, gem! You drop in the gems. Gem, drop the gems. Yes, they want the pineal gland calcified. Listen, they want us to not meditate, not look at spirituality, not manifest great in us, so our DNA changes to be the emperors and empresses that we are.
This is why
everything comes from Black. Everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I'm passionate, let me call it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And it doesn't mean anti-white.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean anti-anything else. So if anybody's got an issue with how pro-Black I am, I argue, how racist are you? You don't ask a Jewish man to reduce the amount he talks about his Jewish woman and his Jewish religion. We allow them, we let them to it, we respect them. Respect me and my pro-Blackness.
Yeah. One thing my dad always says, he says, I'm not, being pro-Black doesn't mean that I hate you or those who are non-Black. It just means I love me more. And I'm like,
and that is the imperative part, and that's an issue that people have. Non-Black people have an issue with us loving more than them. Why is that?
Yeah.
Let's not go the Queen on, because I'm passionate. I said, oh goodness gracious me! I love it. I love it. People say no, be passionate, and some people say, Makiva, you need to understand you got white friends. God bless my white friends. I'm watching them too.
What's the contrast
in
my Maori culture? I know my history from the first person in my family, and they've passed down their folk tales all the way up until my generation. There's no one that can tell you the history better than your family member. That is one thing that they've wiped out of.
We're losing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Issue we're not
Know what I
talking more
mean?
because we're so consumed with everything else that's going on around us. So
But
consumed.
it's the system that's unfortunately made that happen.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Like
millions of pounds and dollars going into that. Yeah.
They make it into a ghetto,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's like, why? And then they put a liquor store on every corner in America.
And a
When I was
gambling
in America,
store
auntie,
in our country.
my auntie said you can't walk around the block. You have to drive.
Mm.
We didn't get it at the time.
Yeah.
We were like, no, let me just go walk to the shop. She's like, no, you can't do that. We'll get in the car and we'll go there.
Yeah.
Culture shock now, because now that I'm seeing it as an adult, because I was a child then,
Yeah.
I now understand.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's deep, man.
Those in the comments, if there's anything that you're passionate about, let us know. If you want to come on and have an opportunity to talk to us about how you feel about what's going on, what you're passionate about, just let us know.
Yeah, it's important.
Message.
It's been a heavy week. It's been a heavy week. I've been grateful for the people I have around me. I've been grateful for what I've learned so I can apply it to what and make sure I'm making sure my well-being's okay. I had to reach out to a few Black men that I know, brothers and friends and acquaintances, and just, are you okay? Like, no, are you okay, brother? I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, say again?
I get that, because we're also in isolation at the same time as and being consumed by social media as well, which is another reason why I took a step back, because I didn't want to react to what someone else said. I wanted to actually think about what I was going to respond like, or not respond at all.
Yeah,
Because I didn't want to keep us as angry. Because then it's another thing.
Well,
you like
is
that?
that just a stereotype?
Angry because of that.
Ladies, we have many technical issues.
Okay.
She said she wants to speak, but I don't know if we can hear her. So I'm going to ask her to speak, and I'm going to tell me if you can hear her.
Okay.
Cool.
Go on. Miss Washington, can you speak?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Can you hear it?
We can hear it. It's a little low, but we can hear it.
Yes, good morning. I'm really sorry that we got caught in the crosspath of the technical difficulties, but even as a physician, this is par for the course. There's several planets that are moving backwards, and that's called a retrograde. Can you hear me before I continue?
Yes,
you can.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the most important is the planet of Mercury, and Mercury deals with communications of all kinds. In the personal chart, it tells the astrologer how you sound and speak and respond to what you hear. But on a global scale, it affects communications of all kinds. And 3 times a year, sometimes 4, this planet goes what is called retrograde. And the best way to describe that to a layperson is, if you're on a train and you're at a stop where another train is going in the opposite direction, even though you're going forward, it feels like you're being pulled backwards, or it's like an eclipse. If one planet is blocking the energy of another planet. Mercury is about to go retrograde on the 18th. And when it goes retrograde, it doesn't just happen that day. It goes into what we call a storm. And during that period, it's par for the course for glitches, delays, computer freeze-ups, and things of that nature. So it's usually a time to just maintain the status quo, to check the fine print, because we have been working on this end harder than a runaway slave to get into the queue. I'm so happy to be able to join my sisters, and we tried one computer, then we hardwired, then we used my daughter's phone. But as a metaphysician, I was kind of saying, okay, par for the course. So what do you do to deal with that when you're doing this cycle? You don't freeze and stay in place, but you just do your behind the scenes work. If you clean up, especially regarding papers and bills, before you throw everything out, you make sure that you didn't make a mistake and mix anything important. This is not a good time to make major purchases in terms of a car or a house, because it might not work out. It might be some little unexpected glitch you didn't expect. But this is a wonderful cycle to find things that you thought you'd lost, for old boyfriends and lovers to come back into your life. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to work out, but it's a wonderful time to heal old wounds or find out why it didn't work out in the first place.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Wow.
We love that.
When you have a question, you said, is it behind the scenes? So we're talking about, I wrote here declutter, but you didn't say declutter.
This is a wonderful cycle to declutter, but to be careful that you don't make, you know how, let's say, you've got papers or things
That's it.
that are important and it's in a state of disarray, and you say, oh, I'm going to tackle this now and get it over with. And as you're separating the papers, maybe the side of a few papers that you meant to act on and not get thrown in the trash. This is a cycle where you have to double check to make sure you didn't throw something important away. I'll give you a brief synopsis of this. When I was much younger, I had an opportunity to get an apartment that I thought was the dream of a lifetime. And I knew astrology, but I didn't understand about how some of these planets move backwards and forwards. I knew about a planet. I knew about what it meant for it to be in a certain sign, but I wasn't educated that these planets go retrograde sometimes and that you don't get the full positive benefits of their energies, and that during that cycle, you pause and you can expect more confusion and delays. So I get this wonderful place, and I'm happier than I've ever been. And a friend of mine who was an astrologer that was more proficient said, oh, when did you move in? And I told her the date. And she said, oh, Mercury was retrograde. You won't be there long. And I was so upset. I was like, yes, I will. If I have to work 2 jobs, I love this place. Well, the short version is I did move in, and I did have to work 2 jobs. But the landlord had not told me that it was a cold water flat and that I would have to pay for my heat as well. To compound that, 3 months later, we had our first oil embargo, and heating my place went from $149 a gallon to $100 a gallon. No problem. I'm working 2 jobs. I'll pay for that. When I called the oil company, when I ran out of heat, and I said, yes, this is my address, I need the oil to deliver it. They said, we're very sorry, but because of the oil embargo, we are servicing our regular customers first, and we can only deliver if you're getting a minimum of 300 gallons. So I suffered through that winter, and then when spring came, I actually ended up moving because the cost was so prohibitive. And so I gave you that analogy to explain what can happen during a retrograde. And once people become educated about Mercury retrograde, it's very common for folks to call and say, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde, because they anticipate that only bad things will happen. That's not the truth. It's just a different cycle. It's just like what you would do when you're able-bodied and well, or if you had been sick and you're recovering from surgery and you can't wait to get back, but your healing and recovery will be better if you respect the fact that your body has been healed, do behind the scenes work, build up your immune system, do your physical therapy. So this is more of a behind the scenes cycle. And if you don't mind, I'd like to add how these components tie into what's going on in the United States with the George Floyd situation, if you have time, because by me not being on the screen with you, I don't want to dominate. So let me know if that works for you.
No, Queen, you have time.
Okay. Well, when this atrocity occurred, not only Mercury, which deals with communications, but Mars. And Mars in astrology is energy, stamina, sex drives, one's fighting spirit, the strength of one's will. Mars is also considered to be the god of war. It represents fighting, okay? And Jupiter, which represents money, is growth, good luck, expansion, and opportunities to move ahead. All of these planets are retrograde right now. So when the story unfolded for us, it was this terrible thing of an African-centered man being murdered right in front of our eyes, but the cops were not arrested. The first thing I said to myself spiritually is, for his family, I banked on the fact that the planets were moving backwards, so I knew that the story we would be was not the full story, and that we would be going back. A couple of days later, then you find out that the officer also knew him and that they worked together as bouncers. You see, it's like peeling off the layers with those retros. Those retros just won't let you go forward clean. Then a couple of days later, we see the video of the accompanying officers where we only saw his head protruding past the vehicle. We got better vantage point and we see two accompanying officers holding down his body and his legs. Then a couple of days later, you see when the whole situation unfolded, because I don't know how they do there, but here, if you present a counterfeit bill, they have markers that they mark the bill with, and they say it's no good, and they simply give it back to you, or they don't. I have never heard of anyone being arrested for a counterfeit bill. So that's one of the reasons why everyone is in such a huge brouhaha, because that's not standard operating procedure. But when they attempted the arrest, what the next video shows is that a police car pulled up to the scene near where the decedent was parked. Two officers get out, and instead of them approaching him, because it only takes one or two officers, they waited until a second car pulled up. They gave a perfunctory nod to them to let them know that they were there. So now it's four officers, and then SUV with Chauvin, who was one that committed the murder, pulled up. The officers that had arrived initially fell back and let Chauvin do the takedown. That you don't need 6 officers. So I knew that with all of these retrogrades, and prayerfully, I was hoping that it would reveal the truth. Now, with the retrograde coming up in terms of communications, the latest thing I'm seeing is that they have found an African-American woman who is willing to go
Hello.
Oh man, I was just getting into that.
Terry, have we lost KHALEA? Wait, have we lost all audio? Apologize for this. Okay.
George Floyd.
Must be the come back in. You know when it's
So
just
interesting.
it's just getting juicy, and you're like, what? Why? What's going on?
It's interesting she's saying what she's saying because I heard or I read something on social media about it being a sacrifice or something. So she was alluding to that.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is, but gosh.
I know everything she was saying about like the retrograde and things coming back to you. Didn't I have a conversation with you, Jaisha, about someone coming back to you?
Yeah.
Having a conversation. It's funny that you said that. But she also mentioned that things going backwards, like as in, I took it as like as in time. It feels like history's just repeating itself.
Like you were saying, yeah.
I would love to know more about she did touch on the certain planets and what they mean or what energy they give, or so even like understanding that further would be helpful. And as well, how often do these retrogrades happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what planet is in your
calendar. Sorry, I had to Google it.
What was you saying?
They actually have a calendar and I had to Google it.
Okay. Yeah, that would be helpful. That would be good to know, because then if we know when these cycles are going to be happening, when these retrogrades are going to be happening, again, like we were saying earlier, then it allows us to know what's going to happen. Like not exactly know, but if we know something is coming ahead, then we can be prepared. Exactly, be better prepared for it. So
it's interesting you say that. It's like chess, isn't it? It's like a chessboard, isn't it? So if we know what the chessboard is saying, we can make our next move. Learn chess, people. I need to go back on the app. I've got an app and I need to learn how to chess. And there's a book called The Art of War, which is really useful to read.
Yeah, I've got that book actually. It's sometimes good to read it over and over again. There's some books you need to just keep reading. Yeah,
they're like reference books, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. To the chess though, I've been thinking I want to buy a nice set, like the glass set, so that I can.
Oh yes, please.
One of those.
Yeah, I want to teach.
It's hard to find though.
I found one. I did find one. I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. I got the app, but it's not the same when you got the physical things in front of you.
Yeah. We are sorry, guys, for the technical problems. Like I see, we have said that we are working to fix it. So hopefully we'll be able to get Ms. Washington back on as soon as possible. Yeah.
It's my little niece's name as well, KHALEA. It's a beautiful name.
Beautiful name, isn't it? My niece's name is her middle name. Her middle name's KHALEA as well. Nice. It's a beautiful name. I would say when I have more children, but it's highly unlikely I will be having any more children.
It's Nakima's turn.
It is.
When she's
I'd love to have children.
We're gonna put all that energy towards
Nakima. Find time.
Bring it, come, bring it, come, bring it, come, bring it.
No,
yeah, man.
They are,
man. They're not easy, but the rewards that you get from them, it's worth it.
Oh,
and it's a gift to the community, isn't it, children?
A gift to the world. Yeah.
A gift to the world community. Well,
we're saying like you have to be so mindful with you're literally building these little people to be in society at some point. Like you really it's a big, it's heavy. a lot of
responsibility that you
responsibility.
put on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to tell you when the retrograde for Mercury has occurred and will occur?
Ooh,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So it says that there was one on February the 17th and it lasted till the 10th of March.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the next one is June 18th to July the 12th.
June.
Which is like coming up. And then
Till July 12th.
Yeah. And then the next one after that is October 14th to November 3rd. And my birthday falls in between that.
Oh wow. So the thing is then is when these retrogrades happen, does that mean something positive's gonna it depends on what retrograde it is that either something positive's gonna happen, there's a change for something, there's a need for something, like it's then understanding what does that retrograde mean for humanity, the world, and
I think she was saying something about sorting out things that you've lost or trying to find things that you might have misplaced or something, or bills that you need to sort out. It's the time to do it.
Depending on the planet that it's retrograding, that it's passing with, depends on what type of cycle we're in or what's going to be at that time. That's when she was talking to me about, that's my understanding of it. So as you said, that one that we just had was to declutter, and so
okay, so the next one might be slightly different depending on the cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting. Where's she at?
I'm planning ahead, plan these times.
Oh,
exactly. Earlier, when we think that these things that are happening, it's not by accident. So if you really, sometimes if you go back a little bit and you pinpoint certain things that may have happened in your life, you might think, oh wait, that makes sense now. Like
that's happened to me many times.
That makes sense now. Yeah. So
make sure you take a moment to reflect during the time of retrograde.
Oh, I love that. And what does that look like, Jem? Doing what sort of things?
Reanalyze who you are and what you are doing.
Ooh. Don't let me get old.
Like the example she gave, refrain from making drastic decisions or changes.
And just you were saying earlier how actually, you've been able to actually be intentional in what you do. And I remember that's important. We're back, yes.
They're trying to stop us.
Yeah.
They can't stop me.
See what I mean about the glitches become more prevalent now, but because time is short and I'm sharing space with people that I can't see and I don't want to dominate, I do want to share what we do with this cycle. When retrogrades are present, it's a time to recycle, to reuse, to renovate, to recreate, to build with what you have. And because of what's going on in the air with the pandemic, you don't allow yourself, now you take every precaution to stay healthy and well, but by the same time, this is a time when you're more with yourself. So you look around your life and you look at the other areas that you've been in excess and you work on them so that as we move, grow, heal, live through it, we've cleaned up and purged. Are you eating too much? Are you cheating too much? Are you lying too much? Are you spending too much? Are you, the areas that you're prone to excess? This is the purging cycle to strengthen that muscle so that you can stay well, but also work on healing, because you don't want to go back out or come back out without having transformed. Are you there?
Okay, yeah. Yes, we're here. So whilst when we lost you for a little bit, we were talking about the different retrogrades or the cycles that happen throughout the year, and we were talking about how do we know what type of cycle we're in and what's going to be happening during that specific retrograde.
Okay, well, as I don't know if you heard me using George Floyd and how the initial thing was going to turn around. And we had so much information that was hidden that was going to come out. And now you can expect a lot of information that is not positive about him, that he was a criminal, that he wasn't a good person, that he doesn't deserve to be a martyr. You know, all of that's going to try to distort the reality of the atrocities that's been going on for centuries for us as a people. But we do not need him to be a saint in order for what was done to him, as well as millions of others of us, to stop. So this is really going to be a catalyst for that movement. With the retrogrades, that's why so much mania has been mixed in. In our country, we actually have infiltrators of other nationalities who are being paid to cause looting and havoc and destruction. And then we also have sick, economically deprived, mentally deprived, and oppressed people who are trying to justify by bringing the criminal element in. So it's going to be a hodgepodge. It will calm down. We just must not be distracted. The time for this revolution is now, because we are the change that we have been waiting for. We must stand up in whatever way, whether it's peaceful, whether it's economic, being conscious of where you spend your dollars, by not supporting people who don't support you, by building coalitions with people who are others but who do support you. This is a homework cycle. This is not one of those, we're going to just protest and we want the cops to change. We have the power to change laws, to change standards if we don't get lost in high emotionalism, and coalesce with people who will help to draw out and write out agendas that we can follow, that we can insist upon. But it's definitely that cycle.
Okay. Queen, how long does the cycle actually last for? So how long does a typical cycle last?
Varies. Each one varies. Mercury is going retrograde on June 18th. Remember, that deals with communications. And it's going to be retrograde until July 12th. Now, it's just like when a storm is coming, and forecasters can predict the storm a week in advance. So even though Mercury doesn't go retrograde until the 18th, it went into the storm on the 4th. So that's when you'll see heightened dysfunctions with Zoom. And, you know, in the United States, a lot of broadcasters, to spare themselves from COVID, are broadcasting from home, dropping out, cross-talking, misunderstanding, getting the wrong message, people not getting your message. I agree that I'm going to meet you on the corner of 34th Street, and you get mad because you think I don't show up, and I find out after the retrograde that you were on the corner of 34th and 7th and 34th and 8th. But remember, this cycle represents doing your behind the scenes work. Now, the next planets, some of them might be a month, some of them might be 2 or 3 months, and time doesn't permit me to pull out my books and give you the exact dates as if we had an open format. But you can go online and just type in Venus retrograde and for this year, and it will give you the dates that it's going to be backwards and when it moves forward. You can put in Mars, you can put in Jupiter, you know. Now, of course, for more concise information, you would need a teacher, and I'll be happy. But this is not anything to be afraid of, because these cycles with various planets occur 2 or 3 times a year, every year. Some of us are born while Mercury is retrograde. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean we can't talk. It doesn't mean that we won't be effective communicators. I was married to someone who had Mercury retrograde, and it was hilarious because I would say, listen, are we going to do such and such? And he would say nothing. And I would think, oh, well, he's worked all day. I guess he doesn't want to go. And an hour later, he would say, well, I'm ready. And I'd say, but you never answered me. Because he was a water sign and emotional, he had answered in his head. He had thought of it. He had processed it. It means that people process information differently depending on the individual, but it doesn't mean that if Mercury is retrograde, everything's going to be bad. But as I said, it's better for behind the scenes work. It's not time to make major purchases, to buy, swap, sell, or trade, or to get married. But it's a great time to do things of short duration. You know what I mean? It's like if you share an apartment or you rent something while you're saving up for a house. And then you say, oh, I would never live with that person. Hey, that wasn't the plan. You know what I mean? Don't let the pluses and minuses of certain aspects make you paranoid and think that it's another thing where things are against you. This is about learning to respect the energies and learning to work with the cycles. You know, when I was going through all that we were going through to try to get online and join you, I understood coming in what cycle we were in. And I kept trying and kept trying. And then I thought about it. I'm a 12th house baby. That means most of my planets in the 12th house. I do my best work behind the scenes. So in the very end, after all of that, I said, well, is it possible we can at least chat on the phone so that we can become acquainted? You see, it means don't get fixed. Don't get stuck. Work on being adaptable. Work on letting yourself try things a different way. And by all means, this is the worst time to get stuck in the righteousness of your views, where if it's not done your way, it's not going to happen. Wonderful cycle to let yourself learn new things. My daughter was assisting me for the first time, and it was so frustrating for her. She said, never again. And I thought, but you've never done this before. And I thought, even if we don't get through, you've learned something new. And I thought, and when we try it again in another event or another time, look at how much you'll already know. This is what the cycle is about.
I love that. So what are some things that we can do, some physical things that we can do in order to help shift our mindset or change our behavior, or a whole paradigm shift when we know these cycles are coming?
Well, one is immersing yourself in water, because there's a lot of tension and stress in the air. Okay. So this is, you know, and we've become a very expedient society. So even when it comes to cleansing ourselves, you know, we get in the shower, we're out and gone. This is a cycle where it's best as often as possible, especially if you have something important to do, if you're hurting, if you're sad emotionally, if you don't know what to do with your displaced anger, to make yourself a bath of Epsom salts, 1 cup, 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, and when possible, soak in the tub so that you can release that. Because when you combine Epsom salts and peroxide, it's the #1 anti-inflammatory without it being an internal medication. Also, it takes the stress off of it. It's also an excellent place when you're upset or hurt or want to cry. Get in the water. Let it come out your pores, your hair. Leave your tears in the water so you can be lighter, so you can be more balanced, so you can be clearer, so the next day you can be more on purpose. It's also very important during this cycle to try to relate with yourself and not get caught up in the cycle of negative self-talk. Now, what that means is the brain is like a human computer. So there are little things that we teach ourselves and we've inherited. Oh, it's not going to go my way. I knew they were going to do this. It's not going to. It's just not my day. This is a cycle where you make a conscious effort not to propagate more negativity into the air, even if that's how you're feeling. Instead of saying it's not my day, stop in mid-sentence and say, it looks like it's going to take a little bit more. I'm going to have to redouble my efforts to get this done. You know what I mean? But no, and be mindful of people who are psychic vampires. Now, what that means is, you know how in some relationships, you're always the one that's redirecting the energy. You're always the one that they call when they're down and they're and you're the one that's positive and you're the one that's helping the ship. And however, when you conclude, they're feeling better and you're feeling wiped because they tapped into you. They were a virtual psychic vampire and they've tapped. So you have to protect your energy. That doesn't mean you cut them off, but you can't become conscious of who's only available when they need to tap into you because you need your resources. And you have to make a conscious effort to say, well, wait a minute. I understand they're like that, but how come I'm only surrounded by people who are tapping into me? How did I let myself get programmed to be one? And you have to start working gently and gingerly to develop better relationships with kindred spirits so that you can have somebody to feed your spirit and you won't be the only one that's on. It sounds overly simplistic, but these are things that, especially as women, that we have a tendency to do and get burnt out, to get drained, to not be supported, because what happens when we hold on to this stress and when we suppress, it starts to manifest in whatever part of your body that's the most vulnerable. And then you're diagnosed with an illness and disease, and you want to work 100% to try to get better, but you haven't thought about how many years you took on stuff. You didn't work on purging it. You tried to be the stronger one, the better one, the beacon of light. It's all related. And so low, inside and outside, it's all related. And anything that we are doing in the circle where I can get involved and we can share information and empower and strengthen ourselves and our families and our communities, I'm so thankful for the opportunity.
Sure.
Definitely. Tell us, sister, how can we best support you? How can we support each other in terms of what you do, your astrology work, and also we did let the people know that you also have a designer collection. So how can we best support you and where can everybody find you?
They can go to KHALEA's collection, and KHALEA is spelled KHALEAS KOLLECTION. I'm also on Facebook under KHALEA Washington, and I'm a stylist and a designer. So that means that I get people ready for everything from public appearances to everyday events. And I especially work with people who have health challenges because they don't have the opportunity to get out, and sometimes they don't have the stamina to go from store to store and place to place. So they like to come over and get a whole season's worth of things. I have 5 planets in my 5th house. Like there's 12 planets in a person's chart. 5 of mine are in my 5th house, which is my house of creativity. So just like I talked about not getting stuck, I was faced with a major health challenge. And at first I thought my life was over because I thought this was all that I knew how to do. But then, because of my having worked as a stylist and got celebrities dressed and having had my own shop, I said, why not, do things on a smaller scale? So my surplus is crazy. I haven't opened a website where you can see my clothes and my jewelry and designs, but maybe as a network of international sisters, we can kind of build something where if you need something or you have a referral or you want some information, we can put something together and build a platform. But to be honest, I'm just thankful for the resurrection because it's going to happen to all of us where we can't keep going in one direction and we have to make that pivotal turn. But if you check me out on Facebook, you'll see from the array of people who've come through. But, I'm just like everyone else. I'm an evolving being, just trying to maintain and sustain. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do more than one thing. I do readings and consultations, and currently we're doing them by phone. My primary focus when I do a reading is not just to tell you about yourself, because it goes back to that psychic vampire. If I read you and you walk away and you say, oh, that sister read me, she was great, but I will also know that what you're going through, even though I've told you that emotionally or physically, it might not end for another 2 years. It might be a relationship that you just wanted to know if it would last, and I can see that it's not worth it, and I can see emotionally you're going to hang in there and fight. So when you leave, I'm stuck with your stuff. My focus is on giving you the information that you need that's going to help you for self-help, behavior modification, and sometimes providing information of how we get out of our own way. And sometimes, despite our best efforts, it's us. And I try to do it in the most loving and compassionate way possible.
Yeah. That sounds great. And we've put your details up on screen and they are in the comments. So if anyone would like to speak with KHALEA Washington further on the work that she does as a solar biologist, go and check her out on Instagram, as she said, which is at KHALEA's Collection. And you can also find her on Facebook as well. Hopefully what we'll be able to do is schedule another show where we can actually see her beautiful face and have
I'm so thankful and looking forward to the opportunity for us to share our warmth and our radiance and our beauty. I'm sending you a virtual hug. Queen of Florida and I have known each other for forever. So as soon as I heard that it was a circle that Queen was on board, and I met and spoke to her sister the other day. I believe that's you, right?
Yes, it's myself. Yeah,
I was in the right place. So just be encouraged, Stay on purpose. Don't let anything pull you off your center. But also take care of yourself. Get in the water. Use your physical self. Go out, get some fresh air and some sunshine. Drink lots of water. And don't bog yourself with a lot of negative people and a lot of energy and a lot of food. Keep light till we get through this.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Queen. Thank you for coming on. Despite the problems, we were still able to have a conversation with you. So we really appreciate you coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time out and sharing what you shared with us today. Guys, thank you again for joining us this week. Thank you for sticking with us. You know, despite the technical difficulties. And don't forget that Queen Afua will be on Black Girls Rock in just under half an hour's time on Instagram. So go head over there and check out her conversations that she'll be having today. We will be back with you next week, Sunday, same time, 3 p.m. GMT time, 10 p.m., 10 a.m., my bad, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Again, our social media is on Instagram, International Sister Circle. You can find us on our website. Again, if this is the first time you've ever come across us and you're intrigued about what we do and you want to know more, head over to our website, which is internationalsistercircle.com, or you can find us on Facebook. Hey, Facebook family, International Sister Circle. Again, we would love to hear from you. We're looking for volunteers. We've got some trips and some exciting stuff coming up soon to help build our communities, not just here in the UK, but also abroad, Canada, USA, Africa, Brazil, the Caribbean, Haiti. We're going to be doing it all, guys. That's the whole point of our International Sister Circle. So if you want to be involved, let us know. Send us an email at info@internationalsistercircle.com. We thank you for everyone who's in the comments. Thank you for coming back another week. Thank you for the beautiful Nakima and Jem for joining in our discussion today. And thank you, Mr. Ray, TV7.
Miss Washington, she wanted to give a last word in.
Okay.
Yes, they can also reach me on put something in WhatsApp, but again, thank you so much. I think that this is just the beginning of building a stronger, unified connection of sisters. And like I said, next time we'll probably be able to see each other. But the thought that I wanted to share is that when these kinds of instances occur, the glitches, the confusion, the delays, just take a breath and say, it's just real life, and push past it.
That's beautiful.
Actually,
Like we heard it here that KHALEA Washington says, and anytime you're going through anything that seems to be pushing you out of your comfort zone, just remember that it's just real life. Thank you. This is what we have for the rest of the week.
The rest of the week is a mystery right now because we have all these glitches, and if I put something into existence, we might get blocked. So
don't say it.
No, I'm not saying nothing. That everything's good and everything is great, and there's going to be powerful shows this week. So don't forget, on Thursday we have the usual
total exposure for the culture.
We have special guests coming in, which is another secret. We're not telling you got to watch it to see it.
You do. But guys, if you hit the notification button, if you hit subscribe, you'll be notified whenever a show is going to be going live or if a video is uploaded. So even though we might not be able to give you that information right now, subscribe to the page. Bye guys. Bye.
Yeah, 1 minute. I'm just coming. 1 second. I said, give me 1 minute. Just letting the advert go through.